came back, as the Three Stooges say, from a dinosaur show. I just came back. I went to get a nice coffee and I went to get a roll. I was with some friends on the weekend. I talked about my cottage life on the weekend. And my friend the weekend said that a bagel is 600 calories. How's it light here? Well, I didn't know that. I have bagels not every morning. If I go with Andy to breakfast, I get a bagel. I take out the bread out of the bagel. I don't want to. I just need to eat something. I'm not like all these other big fat pigs that keep eating. My head, my mind, my stomach says, Dave, you got to eat some energy. So I try to eat healthy things. I don't care what the hell it is. Yeah, at night I like to relax and have a nice dinner. Sometimes at breakfast I have a breakfast meeting and have a nice relax. I have eggs, have bagel lots and cream cheese. But during the week, I just got to get something for energy, like putting gas in the car. So I don't care what it is. So I wanted to eat, after he told me this on the weekend, it's 600 calories. I said, what am I? I'm not eating bagels anymore, 600 calories. I had no idea. I just get an iced coffee. See why I have to get out of here now? I'll get an iced coffee, and then I'll get a Kaiser roll. I don't know what the calories are of the Kaiser roll. My friend has this app on his phone. I don't know what it is for a Kaiser roll. So I go to the bakery. I know it's $1.05. Great, $1.05, and I got a nice coffee at McDonald's for $1.05. $2.10, that's my bagel for today. My breakfast for today. So I go to the United Bakery. It's a dairy place, which I'll tell you about in a minute. In fact, we had a dairy place in Philadelphia called The Ambassador, which I don't remember, but my parents grew up with it. All the Jews know about this in Philadelphia. It was downtown Girard Avenue in Philadelphia, wherever it was. I remember my father went there once, and it was in the newspaper. And because they were doing an interview, there was going to be you couldn't get lox anymore. For some reason, there was a shortage on lox, a shortage on the fish. You couldn't get lox anymore. So they interviewed my father, and they said, if there's no lox, what are all the Jewish people going to eat? And he said, let him eat herring, which is a play on Marie Antoinette's Let Him Eat Cake. And there's a picture with him like this in the Daily News. Lou Bronstein says, let him eat herring. Isn't that funny? That's where I get my sense of humor from. Look how quick that was. So I don't know what the hell I'm bringing this up for. So I went to get a roll. I want a Kaiser roll. And there's another joke about a Kaiser roll, too. About a man in a big snowstorm. 20 feet of snow, blizzard outside, horrible, not a soul in sight. It walks into this bakery with a little light on, and one little man's in there, and the man comes in and says, I'd like to have 2 rolls. And the baker says, anything else? And the man says, no, just 2 rolls. And the baker says, all you want is 2 rolls? It's 11 o'clock at night. We're a 24-hour bakery. The snow is 20 feet high. There's nobody around. The blizzard's horrible. It's 25 degrees below zero. You come into the bakery for 2 rolls? You want a rye bread? Man says, no, just the rolls. The bakery says, do you want a pumpernickel? Man says, no, just the rolls. He says, you want some challah bread? He says, no, all I want is the rolls. Just give me the 2 rolls. The bakery man says, this is the craziest thing I ever heard. No one's ever come in this crazy weather and just asked for 2 rolls. I want to ask you a question, sir. Are you married? And the man says, what then? You think my mother sent me out for 2 rolls? The point is, I said, I want a roll, a Kaiser roll. She takes the Kaiser, just put a little bit of butter on it. When she takes the Kaiser roll, she goes to the side to get the butter, whatever it is, but there's a man fixing an oven, a freezer, some kind of machine in the bakery there when I went to get the rolls. And he's on the floor. I don't know. I walked over with her. And he's on the floor. And she says to him, excuse me, Al, whatever his name is, can you hand me this over there? And as she's leaning over, he's a bald-headed guy. As she's leaning over, says, can you get me this? And he says, oh, yeah, sure. And he's handing it to her. The roll, because he's leaning over with the man, touches his bald head. My roll touches the... I watch everything. When I was with Andrea yesterday, because I want an iPad, she's going to buy me an iPad for Father's Day. I love you very much. Thank you, Andrea. Because I got to get the hell out of the house with the dog. Right now, the dog's sitting on my lap. I'm like a James Bond villain with the cat. Right now, the dog's on my lap. You can imagine how I can concentrate with the dog on my lap right now. So he walks over. He walks over. The girl leans over. He sits up, and the roll touches his bald head. You think I'm going to eat that roll with touching a bald head? Yesterday, when I was at the Apple store, I'm asking questions about the iPad. They're rubbing their nose, rubbing their eyes, rubbing their ears, rubbing their... now, I see it. Now, Amy doesn't notice anything, but after I brought it to her attention, she noticed the next guy rubbing his ear, rubbing his eye, putting his hand on his schmuckle. She could notice all these... Everyone gets nervous when they talk to me. Because they're all nervous ticks. Either they're lying, and I'm very good at... I know all the signs of lying, because I used to watch that show Lie to Me. I either lying, or... Because they don't know what they're doing. Like poker players. That's why poker players wear the hat, wear the sunglasses, because you can't control your emotions, your eyes, the way you touch. You don't even know you're touching. I know you're touching it. Because if I said to him, you just touched your nose, he said, no, I didn't. They don't even know they're doing it, but I know they're doing it. I'm very observant like that. So when he touched the guy, yes, they kept touching this to this, I saw that the head touched the roll. Well, I'm not eating that roll. I said, before you put butter in that roll, I'm going to have a challah roll. Challah roll, they call it challah roll, egg rolls, whatever the hell they call it. I guess a challah roll. I said, so she don't want the Kaiser roll, but I already cut it. I said, all right, so I'll still take that, but let me have a challah roll. I'm going to have a challah roll. So she walks over and she makes me the challah roll, but now I got to take the Kaiser roll that touched the man's head. Well, I ain't going to eat that Kaiser roll. So she wrapped up the Kaiser roll in a separate piece of paper and put that in a separate bag and gave me the challah bun with the butter in a separate bag. So now I ate the challah bun for breakfast with a cup of iced coffee, but the Kaiser roll, I ain't eating that. So I'm going to give it to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law doesn't care. What the hell does she care? Does she care that they touched the guy's head? My mother-in-law, for years, my in-laws were complaining. They grew up during the ghetto when the Germans came in Hungary, and thank God that's all it was for them. It was horrible, horrible. But as the years went on, they've had great success. My father-in-law had a store, and he came to Toronto, and they built up a family, and they had houses, and they had great. But the whole time, there were always still mindset regarding food. If your food is on the table, you got to eat all the food. You got to eat all the food. No matter how much is there, you got to eat all the food. So when I got married and I had kids, my kids didn't want to eat all the food. They said, you got to eat your food. You got to eat your food. Either they think the war was still on, the Germans are coming. I don't know what it was, but I would think that they'd say, look at this fabulous land of democracy. I can go and do and build empires and eat it. There's so much food and so much everything plentiful. You would take advantage of that. Instead, it was the other way. I guess they always felt that the Germans are coming because they always, you have to eat all the food. So the roll I would give to my mother-in-law because it's food. Because she doesn't care. Thank God, we got a roll. I don't know what to tell you. Yesterday she hollered at me. I'm always alone. Yesterday, all day I was alone. He took you out all day, meaning me. He took you out all day. And then she says, Mom, I haven't seen David all day. It's 6:30 now. I'm having dinner with him. It's the first time I'm seeing him. Well, why are you saying you're alone? Now, Andrea lives with the in-law. Landry's been living with the in-law since 2012. This is 2014. My house now is a frat party. It's a college dorm. Lauren lives with a girlfriend. Jared lives here. The friends come over. That's all it is. I got to do the wash, do the clean, whatever I can do. I'm one person while I build the empire. That's all. Andrea lives with the in-law, but the in-law's always complaining. She's always alone. Andrea works there. She sleeps there. She eats there. I go to Andrea's mother's house for dinner. But the mother's always complaining. I'm always alone, and he took you out all day. Now, let's say I did take Andrea out all day. Is that so bad? It might be bad for me, but is that so bad? I hope Andrea doesn't watch this. If that's so bad, if I took Andrea out all day yesterday, I'm married to Andrea 28 years. I think this August could be 29 years. I don't even know. I've been in love with the same woman for 29 years, and if Andrea finds out, she'll kill me. But let's say I did take Andrea out all day. What's wrong with that? Aren't I supposed to take her out? We're married, so married people go out, don't they? So if I took her out yesterday, Tuesday afternoon, why is that bad? According to my mother-in-law, how dare you take out your wife yesterday and leave me alone all day? To my mother-in-law, it's the worst thing in the world. It's the worst thing in the world that I would take out my wife, her daughter, on a Tuesday afternoon and leave my mother-in-law alone all day. Can't write this stuff. But what you can write is go to davestvempire.com. davestvempire.com. That's where you can go out all day. You can make as much money as you want and go out all day because I got the biggest TV products, the biggest check models, and I got so many deals going on, I can't keep track. So go to davestvempire.com. Let's make a lot of money together. Email me, davestvempire@rogers.com, and let's make a lot of cash. I got to finish this blog now because I got to give the roll to my mother-in-law. The roll that touched the bald-headed jerk's head.